We live? All right, we're live. There we go. I'm here. I'm only a couple minutes late, huh? Yeah, it's on silent mode. Needed to make sure my phone was on silent mode because you never know who's calling in the middle of the show. All right, let's go. Give you all a couple minutes to get in here, huh? I think Sunday. Is that tomorrow? I think tomorrow I'm gonna go over that the Panthers all century team. I'm gonna do something with that. Today I'm kind of taking it easy, doing a lot of house cleaning. A lot of house cleaning. All sorts of things. So we survived last night. That's what we'll do, right? We'll take it. What sucks is I'd feel a lot better about the 2 points we got last night if we would have at least gotten a point against Carolina. The way that whole game went down and the way we ended up with no points. The play on the homestand was so inconsistent, so frustrating that we didn't, we had a nice opportunity there and from before Christmas and after Christmas to just be at home and put some good stuff on the ice in front of the fans and bank some points, right? And not saying we completely blew it, but now we got road trips coming up. We got all sorts of funky things. We got the Nations tournament. Everybody's, some people are thinking we're going to get rested during that break, but not the Panthers. Not the Panthers. We got so many people going to that tournament that we're going to end up worse off. But it's just hopefully everybody stays healthy. That's all we can say about that. Hopefully, everybody stays healthy. So, saw a couple people asking in the comments of the recap about Cousins and Lomberg and how come we don't have them and the money that they got. I kind of believe Cousins was a mutual parting of the ways. Not anything overly terrible, but I think Cousins was a mutual parting of the ways. Hey Trey, they say anything about Ekblad's hand? Not that I've seen, but I haven't been looking. Usually, why are you asking me? You guys are the ones that keep me updated. You and Kyle, but Kyle's not here. So I don't know, man. They could have dropped nuclear bombs on DC last night. I wouldn't know it. I would just still be sitting here trying to figure out how to pay the power bill. But I guess if they dropped nukes on DC, I'd have no power. And then I'd be worried, hey, did I pay the power bill? Right? So is that why he was at... What happened with that, Trey? I didn't see exactly what, because I seen some people, Frank after the stream was saying Ekblad got benched. And I know before one of the goals, Goldie and Randy were showing Ekblad on the bench and mentioning, but then boom, a goal was scored. So that got all obliterated. And, I'm streaming, I'm reading the chat, so I'm not hearing everything that they're talking about on TV and in the post game. Same thing. Trey says, of course, Frank said that. All right, so it was his. Is that what it was? Was it? Did he? I hate to say it, but I don't notice when Ekblad's gone. I guess. Oh, I know how that sounds, right? But so yeah, LTIR. I mean, this is easy, right? LTIR, I said it last night in the recap. LTIR, go get Connor Murphy. We don't have to move any salary to do it. It's perfect. It's perfect. It couldn't have happened any better because it's not his legs. It's just the hand. Oh, it's broke. It needs 3 months. I got to have surgery on my pinky, on my hangnail. Is that 3 months? Let's see. February, March. Well, we're January, so January, February, March. Yeah, 3 months for a broken pinky. I'm in, right? Then we don't have to send any salary the other way with whoever we're going to trade to get. Oh, man, can you imagine? They would, the accusation of LTIR abuse, if the hated Panthers sent Ekblad off the ice for 3 months for a broken pinky, right? In fact, maybe that's what happened. He hurts the hand, he comes back out, and then Zito called Maurice said, get Ekblad off the ice. He's hurt. Right? Get Aaron the hell off the ice. Wrap the hand, put some ice on it, make it look real good. Right? Or make it look bad, I guess. And Yeah. So I'm just saying. I'm just saying because we beggars can't be choosers, and we barely have any assets as it is. But if we were going to have to acquire a defenseman, we're either going to have to send money going the other way. We're going to have to pay them to retain contract. So, but that dumbass, he's going to color his beard and go back out there with a freaking. He'll try to play with a cast on instead of going to LTIR. Poor guy. But the point is at least it's not his legs, so it's not anything. He would rest. He get nice and fresh and rested, right? Oh well, he needs surgery. That's my professional opinion. I saw the hit. I saw the puck hit the hand. I think he needs surgery, and it's about a 3-month recovery time. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, NHL. Well, the other part to it is, oh wait, Trey says we could get Connor Murphy and another player if he went on LTIR. It's true. It's true. We could get Connor Murphy. We could get Stenlin back. Right? Yeah. Or another defenseman. Right? We could get Murphy and... Right? Because then if you went, well, you'd put Murphy in Ekblad's spot, right? Would you do that? No, probably not. You're not going to put a new guy brand new right to the team right up there in the top line with Forsling. Honestly, I think you'd probably put Belinskas up there. I'm not saying playoffs. I'm talking the rest of the regular season. You put Belinskas in there in Ekblad's spot, and you let Murphy develop the chemistry with Mikkola. And that way, Belinskas gets trial by fire during the regular season, and he'll be that much better come playoff time when he's back on the bottom pair. You got Vlog says, but what do we lose to get those players? A lot less if we don't have to get them to retain salary, Vlog. You see what I'm saying? A lot less. If we, for Connor Murphy, Sourdiff and a 3. Trey, I will ban you, even though you were the only one here for the first 5 minutes. I will still ban you. Oh. Last night I hit a 5-bet parlay on the Panthers winning 1,900. Let's do it as a community. Are you saying you want to share the 1,900? You want my Cash App link? I got to pay the internet bill. Shit, I got to remember to pay the internet bill. I don't pay the internet bill until they start calling, threatening to shut it off. $140 a month, man. I can't put it on auto pay because I never know when they're going to charge it if I got the money. For those of you who weren't on the stream last night, JC had a really good idea that I think I'm going to try. Apparently, there's this app that you can sign up for, and people will pay you to watch their dogs and overnights and everything like that. So I'm going to try that because I can make $30 or $40 a day, which is kind of what I'm short, and I'd have be able to have a dog in the house and everything. So I'm going to try that. There was not a whole lot of action in my area, but I will. I'm going to say I'll offer to pick up the dogs. What else am I going to do? I can get up in the morning and drive 45 minutes away. They're going to pay me, right? Pick up, drop off. Never know. Thank you, Cuban. I'll take it. I'll take it. I only need 75 more people to do that, and I can pay the internet bill. Well, minus the 30%. You know what I'm saying. Thank you, Cuban. I appreciate that. Barman says, can we trade for Montour? I mean, technically we could, but that's a long. He signed a pretty good contract, right? So, we do have to look at, the implications of any guy's contracts that we're taking on. We would have to look 69 more people. We would have to look at the long-term complications with their contract. Connor Murphy's got the 1 year left, and we could fit him in no problem, especially when we let Ekblad walk. The only bad news, if Ekblad is hurt, if Zito was planning, I know Vincent, you said if Zito doesn't trade Ekblad, that kind of shows you what he's thinking. But if Ekblad actually, if his hand is actually broke, well, you can't trade him then, right? No contender's going to want him at that point. So that kind of would ding us there if that was his plan. I don't think so, right? We're going to trade Sam Bennett if he does that shit again that he did last night. That was stupid. What are you doing, man? Right? That's kind of like what he did. No, that was Chucky, right? Was it Chucky or Bennett? I know Kachuk had the fight. It was Bennett, right? In the playoffs. Because he had that hand and he was protecting it. And then he kind of sucker punched. Was it Pasta that he sucker punched? Oh, no. Who was it? Help me remember. Hey, thank you, Barman. Thank you, Barman. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Thank you. Marie said Ekblad's expected to play. Damn it, there goes our fantasy. There goes our fantasy. Help me remember. Who was it that Bennett sucker punched against Boston last year? Why can't I remember it? And it led to the whole fight. Come on, guys, help me out. My brain is just not, my memory is just going to shit since this summer. Marchand, thank you, Barman. Yeah. Imagine sucker punching Marchand, right? But he kind of, last night, the point is when he went in for that hit, he went up high, and he kind of went in and did the same thing and got caught for it. Hey, JC. Yeah, the rat. Yeah. Hey, JC, I looked at that app, the Rover app. I'm gonna do it. I just want to get some stuff in the yard. I want to get everything ready so I can take pictures of the area that the dogs are going to be. And one thing I noticed, there's not a lot of action in my area, but like 45 minutes away from here, there is. I got the van, I got the ramp, so I'm going to offer pickup. I think I could do real well on that app if I offered pickup and delivery, obviously at a cost. But yeah, thank you for the idea. I think that's going to work. I think that's going to work. It just take a couple minutes for me to get it all set up. JC says, so we're driving home from the airport at 6 a.m. and found a tiny little dog. Doesn't have a chip in it. It's going to be 20 degrees tomorrow and have no idea what to do. Yeah, JC, I appreciate that. Well, I think the universe has told you what to do, right? What is it? Is it like a rat terrier or something like that? What kind of dog is it? And look, the shelters are full up. Remember the day after Fluffy died, and I found that I found that poodle at the river. When we called the shelters to see if there was any room, because I was in no shape to just start right off with another dog, all the shelters were basically like, look, bro, it's dark days because of the economy. People just keep turning in their dogs left and right. So congratulations, JC. You have a new pet. Vincent says, Bennett's antics are excusable most of the time overall in the big picture. Yeah, it just sucked it happened when Pittsburgh could pull the goalie and give him a two-man advantage. We were so close to getting out of that. But actually, if you really look at it, we still got the 2 points. And I think that, the overtime saves and the shootout save, especially against Sydney, I think that was good for Spencer. He had to be a little bit nervous. He came out and met Sid and did the job. Oh, Jason, the little dog and the German Shepherd are getting along very well. It's like a little mini border collie. Okay. Oh, JC. JC, 1 dog, 2 dogs, 3 dogs. What's the difference? Especially if your German Shepherd's getting along with it, because sometimes German Shepherds they're pretty picky. They either love the other dog or eat the other dog. Ellie was half German Shepherd. She was German Shepherd Shar-Pei. And her options with other dogs was eat the other dog or eat the other dog. There were some other dogs that she was okay with at the dog park, but any of the time we'd be out in public, like I take her to the river or the beach, if another dog approached, nope, she was way too protective of not just me, but of Sonya and Fluffy. She kind of felt like it was her job to protect those two. Mark says, what has happened to Ben? And he was really showing improvement last year and into the beginning of this year, and now he's gone cold and doesn't seem to be a factor. I think guys like that, the way that he plays, I think they get banged up and we don't even notice it, right? Now, I remember last night in the first period, he did something, and he went to the bench, and they showed him on the bench, and they had his shirt up, and they were working on, like, his ribs under his arm and all of that. So those guys that beat the crap out of the other team, they get a lot of injuries that is not made public. And that stuff wears on you over the course of a season, especially if if you strain an oblique, but you play through it and you keep re-straining it or something. I would venture a guess it's just little injuries like that. JC, we're so conflicted right now and it's killing us. This is what you do, JC. Okay? This is how you solve the conflicted part. All right? When the two of them are playing or getting along, just take a video of it and just keep watching the video until you cry, and then you'll have two dogs. It's pretty simple. Simon says, do I think Florida is still going to get that hockey player? What do we think? Yeah, what do I think? Do I think we're going to get somebody? I hope so. You can see the multiple issues, right? You can definitely see how the lack of speed on defense is affecting what we're doing on offense. And the lack of possession time. How many times did you see Montour, OEL, and we'd have the 5-man unit working in the offensive zone, and we could be risky with our passes because if the puck ended up out of the net, out of the zone, Montour or OEL would have the speed to at least catch up and take care of the play, take care of any opportunity. We don't have anybody other than Forsling and Balinskis with the speed to do that at this point. You can't. You try it with Schmidt, but if if the puck gets past him, he's too slow. Ekblad, the same thing. Mikkola, they don't usually do that with. So you can see one part of the piece of what's happening is just we're not able to use the defensemen in the same manner in which we were using them the last 2 years. And the other thing is the forwards are not engaging in the dump and chase many times. It's just the dump. They got the dump part down. And then they, like, anybody want to chase the puck? Oh, crap, they got it. Oh, well, let's go back to playing defense. That's energy. That's flat out energy. How much can we improve that? You get a defenseman and you hope the forwards pick up the pace in the playoffs or towards the end of the season. I mean, we know we have the personnel, right? I mean, for the most part, the forward group, we know we've got enough talent in the forward group to win the Stanley Cup. There's hardly, I know we've got some, it's not the same with the fourth line, but we've still got guys that if you get Barkov, Tkachuk, Reinhart, Bennett all going at the same time, we should practically be unbeatable. And if you throw Bob into that mix, we should really practically be unbeatable in a 7-game series if we got most of the guys playing to their potential. Right, Barman, exactly. So Vincent says we're going to get Murphy, Jensen, Jokaro, how do you say his name? And Merrilainen for a backup. Somebody screenshot that. We'll see if Vincent's right. Oh, man. My throat was feeling a little bit better. But, if Ekblad's supposed to play against Colorado, I guess he's not hurt. So there goes that fantasy. That's a shame. That's okay. I'm glad you're not hurt, Aaron. I know you're watching the show, right? Did anybody ask Tkachuk what he said to get the 10 minutes? I mean, we're all assuming he said something, right? Did anybody ask him what he said? Because I didn't even see him laughing about it. He was clearly pissed off. And look at what happened when he got angry, right? He actually did some work in front of the net and got himself a goal. So why are we not seeing that on a nightly basis, Chucky? Right? Come on, man. We need to refine or redevelop or rediscover, I should say, some different ways to put the puck in the back of the net. And certainly, we do have guys that are capable of working hard in front of the net and getting deflections. And we do have a number of guys that have a really good shot from the point, especially Forsling. And some of these goals, I think the Chucky one was a Forsling deflection, right? So, yeah, we just go get Montour back. And I think that's part of the thing in the sense that, like last year, we had the defensive personnel to play a certain style no matter who was on the ice, right? For the most part. I mean, even if you had Mikkola and Kulikov on the ice at the same time, Kulikov can stay back, and Mikkola is not without the ability to skate. He's got some offensive upside. So no matter what pair we had out there, almost all the time, we could have a defensive defenseman and somebody that could cheat a little bit and act as another forward at the line. We don't have that this year, even with, when Mikkola comes back. Now, I know Boquist, he's fast. I'm not going to take that away from him, Adam Boquist. He's fast. He came back a couple of times last night and broke up plays. But if you're going to have Boquist on that bottom pair, you need to have like Gobranson and Kulikov on the bottom pair with him. And what I mean by that is you better have a big physical defenseman on the bottom pair, and Boquist can just go skate all over the place because that's what he's going to do anyway. So, I think some of the issue that we're in right now, unfortunately, maybe Zito, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but maybe he kind of believed our smoke, right? Like Zito's not one to brag, but if Zito watched enough videos in the summer, he'd be like, yeah, I am the best GM in the NHL. Yeah, I'm the shit. Any guy I pick, they're going to turn to gold. And I think maybe he just assumed because he picked them that Adam Boquist and Nate Schmidt would just somehow magically turn into gold. And so he's kind of stuck now because we do need an upgrade. I wouldn't mind keeping Boquist around. I know he's not a big guy, but I honestly feel like he could be forward depth. He's fat. I mean, how much different can his game be from his brother? You know what I mean? Give me a fourth line with Stenlund, Boquist, and Boquist. I don't know. We'll see. Trey says, relax, he's not Greer. No, but it would not be a physical fourth line. It would be a fourth line that was so fast they couldn't catch him to hit him. We do a reverse Uno. We make a fourth line that is so fast that when the big fat guys try to hit him, they can't catch him. Vincent says that's the thing. They don't chase and forecheck because it's regular season. They don't have the motivation. But this weird eco mode of playing is a problem because most of the players fit for the energy game. So we need a change in the forward group to find that balance. Defense is just not there. Oh, Trey. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying Adam Boquist isn't Greer on the fourth line. No, Dolphins Greer needs to go. The worst thing that can happen for the Dolphins is they make the playoffs and actually win a playoff game. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but if we do, you know what I mean? If we do, then the Greer's going to get to keep his job. Simon says, what do you think Florida's general manager is going to do in your opinion? Because you're not Stanley Cup champions for nothing, Mr. Zito. Well, most likely we're going to do one of two things. We're either going to have to overpay for a guy on defense to get the other team to retain salary, or you could see a situation um, where Zito thinks that Boquist could replace either E2 or Erod and send that salary one way in exchange for a defenseman. Now, I'm not saying that that's what I want to happen. You ask me what I think could possibly happen. I think he knows we need a defenseman, and it's just going to be whether or not we're willing to pay the price to get the other team to retain salary, or if we're going to be willing to part with a player instead of retaining salary. Why don't we move Greer to the bottom pair with Adam? How bad can it be? Right? Yeah. Or we just run four forwards and one defenseman. We just run four forwards and one defenseman. Right? And you rotate the four defensemen between Ekblad, Forsling, Mikula, and Kulikov. And you just make Balinskis and Boquist forwards, right? I don't know what you do with Nate Schmidt. I love the guy. He's trying. I wish if we had a team full of guys as fast as Mackey who gave as much effort as Nate Schmidt, we would be unbeatable. Like I said, did you know Adam was drafted 8th in the first round? Really? He was drafted. I mean, he's a nice player, but that's an awfully small defenseman to draft in the first round that early. Who did that? According to Puckpedia, Vincent says, now we think Zito knows we need a D. What if he's out there on the boat fishing? He's got to know, right? He's got to know. It's Zito. He has to know. Plus, he watches the channel, so you know he knows. We've already told you, Bill. He knows. He knows because he knows. Right? You think it was the Blackhawks? That's a small dude to pick in the top 10 on defense. Wow. I wonder what he did previous to getting drafted that made them feel he was worthy of that pick. I mean, he's not a bad player, but a first round pick on a defenseman that he weighs the same as much as I do. Right? Maybe less, depending on how many donuts I eat. You know? You think he's just not played on a good pro team? Well, I think that's partially what Zito thought. I think Zito kind of thought Schmidt and Boquist were just going to kind of come in here and take over their spots and would be good to go. I don't think they really intended on Balinskis being such a big piece. But other than those couple of weeks, Balinskis has been really, really solid. Why is it so cold in here? I got this heater on. I guess because it's 32 and windy outside. You know, I know you're not saying he's Gus. No, that's true. That's true. If he was a little bit bigger, right? He's got the heart, though. Give him minutes and see. Well, he's getting them now. It's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag. He's got the speed to make up for being out of position. He is out of position a lot, so there's that. The offensive upside, generally speaking, with those guys, if you're going to have a guy, you know, to make up for that size, you've got to have the offensive upside. Good chucking around. Where are we at? Well, unfortunately, Ekblad's hand is not broken. He's going to not be on LTIR. So we were going to get Connor Murphy for nothing. But now Ekblad refuses to be injured. And so I guess we'll have to pay for whoever we get, unfortunately, because big dummy. He could have had a nice vacation too, right? I mean, and he could have even just stayed on the ice skating. He could have kept in shape. It's my pinky. It's my pinky. I needed surgery right here on this little spot. It's 3 months. I don't know what to do. Damn it. Right? He's not stupid though. Ekblad's not stupid. Think about it. He knows like if I'm out for 3 months and they get my replacement and he does well, Ekblad knows that he'll never get that job back, or at least he won't get signed next year, right? So I guess from his point of view, he'd be like the Monty Python dude. It's just a flesh wound. He's got one arm, one leg, right? I can still play. I can still skate. That'd be Ekblad. Because he knows, right? Because especially Forsling. Once Forsling got a real partner, that would be it. My throat. Something else. I usually I defer to Trey on that. I'm pretty sure Trey is going to say CC sucks. I would believe that would be Trey's response, or it was somebody's response before when that name was brought up. Ooh, just give me a second. My throat is really sore. I should have had the seltzer water in here. All right. Yeah, it's like 32 and windy. It should be interesting. I'm gonna go to the casino tonight. It's gonna be like 18. It might be snowing, so I might be the only one there. I'm not gonna play the table games though. I'm just gonna play the slots. I just want to take my $100 and go to the dollar slots. Brother Gene gave me $100 for Christmas, and what I really should do is pay the internet bill with it. But he insists that I go do something for fun. So maybe I'll win some money and be able to pay more than the internet bill with it. So there's that, right? We'll see. But it's a long drive. It's Dover, so it's like an hour there. So I want to leave early so I don't get there, so I'm not driving in the dark on the way there. So I don't know my way over there, and it's all through country roads and everything because my dumbass can't drive on the highway. Craig says, get a good meal and watch a band. I thought about it. There's I don't even know if they have live entertainment at that casino. I'm not sure. I remember looking about 6 months ago or something, because Kyle and I were going to go. But it's not like going to the, Hard Rock Casino or something like that. It's not that big of a thing. It's not dinky tiny. It's what used to be Dover Downs. But it's not Dover Downs anymore. I forget what they named it. So we'll see. I've never been over there. I've been past it, but I've never been in. But I haven't been to a casino since I was 21, 22. The last casino I was at Princess Casino in the Bahamas. For those of you who read the book, you know what I'm referring to. The match play, the match play scam where I robbed the bank not rob a bank, I robbed the casino. Hey, Rosado, how you doing, bud? But a good meal don't sound so bad right now. A nice steak. Nice steak. If I have a steak and potato, though, I'm going to be sleeping in my van. I won't be able to drive home. Rosado said, not the part where I almost got arrested. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no. Well, which one? I'm not talking about the Brother Gene shoplifting. I'm talking about the one where the dude, excuse me, sir, when he put his hand on my shoulder at the casino. That story. That's the last year we went. Vincent says, how St. Louis stole Broberg from Edmonton is still baffling. It's been a while since Zito performed magic. It's time. Yeah, sure. We know what we should do. We should start a rumor that Connor Murphy asked for a trade. We should do that. That would help. What am I going to do for the rest of the weekend? Well, rest of today, I'm going to clean the house a little bit, and I want to get some sleep because I'm still not feeling great, but I don't want to not go tonight. And then tomorrow, I'm going to take a look at that Panthers, quarter century team or whatever they put out. So I'm going to make some content around that. I'm going to put out some content around that. And then tomorrow's the Dolphin game, right? You got to finish the book, Rosado. Okay. Yeah, well, you got to that part. You got to the match play part. So you're probably halfway through. You're probably about halfway through, right? I will have a sequel to that book, but there are some things that need to be finalized before I can write the second part to the book. We'll put it that way. It'd be a little bit different. It's not going to be rehashing of everything the first book had with the pictures and all of that. It's going to kind of be a conclusion to the story, so to speak. And hopefully I'll make it smaller so it doesn't have to be so damn expensive. That still irritates me. The book is $35. I make $5. You know what I mean? So Amazon gets paid. Chucking around says something odd about our stats since we are trending only 7 more goals for last year through 40 games. However, we have 132 less shots. That's interesting. So we're trending for only 7 more goals than last year through 40 games, I see. However, we have 132 less shots? That's crazy. That means our shot percentage is like through the roof. Huh. I wonder what that's a product of in terms of what we're doing a lot less of. Well, we're not cycling the puck. We're not on a regular basis. We are not, keeping puck possession in the zone and taking multiple shots. Most of the time we come in, we're one and done. Zato, I hope you'll be able to be there, man. It's a shame you weren't able to be there this time. Vincent says, so here's a case study for you. New movie reaction channel earned almost 2,000 in the month with 11K sub. Now what they earned the 2,000 in, because was it super chats? Because generally speaking, those videos are copyrighted by the owner of the movies. Or are they not showing the movies? They're just doing movie reviews. Is that kind of what you're saying, Vincent? They're just doing movie reviews. You think we're missing the net more? I don't know. That wouldn't that would show up as fewer shots, right? I see, but still the explanation for more goals on fewer shots, that's interesting. Some of that has to do with how many, what do we got, like 45 shorthanded goals? Vince says, no, their edited money is an ad share from YouTube. So are you saying that when the video gets copyrighted, the owners of the movies are doing an ad share? Because I know sometimes musicians will do that, where they will split the ad revenue with you. Are you saying that that's what the movie channels, that person is doing? But they're showing clips of the movie, and then it's an ad share copyright claim where everybody gets paid a little bit? Simon, how many fans did we meet? Well, between everybody that came to the pregame and the people that came up during the intermissions and post game, I don't know, man. 50 hands. 50 hands it felt like 200, but I know it wasn't 200. There was a lot of people, like when we were walking, that were just like, "Hey, Jaws," you know what I mean? It got crazy. It was way more than I expected. We'll put it that way. It was way more than I expected. I thought like 8 people will come up and say hi, you asshole. That's kind of what I thought. 8 to 10 people will be like, hey, you suck. And that was about it. But that's not how it worked out. Now, some of it, in full disclosure, was because Trey had the championship belt. So I think half the people just wanted to use me to get through to Trey with the championship belt. Trey says, you think it was at least 100? I didn't want to overestimate. I didn't want to overestimate. That's kind of what I was thinking, but yeah, I didn't want to overestimate and make myself look bad. It was a whirlwind, man. It was like for a good period of time, it was just like turning around and it was overwhelming, but in a good way, you know? So Vincent says they edit movie clips to avoid the strike and reacting along the way with their face. Sometimes they get strikes though anyway. That's interesting. I'll have to check that out, Vincent. Rudolph says, I'm going to become a Magna Lynette fan because of what she did. Amen. Hey, Frank. Hey, Frank. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Frank. He says, honest answers, guys. Can this team make it out of the second round with the way they're playing right now? No. No. The way they're playing right now, no. If we do not get at least one defenseman, and I don't know what we're going to do with the fourth line, because are we really keeping Mackie Samoskevich in the fourth line in the playoffs? I mean, he's got all the heart and effort to do it, but you know, you're talking about some big bad teams we got to play. I don't want him to get, you know, obliterated. But no, right now the way that they're playing with the personnel we have, I think second round is our max. But that's the way they're playing. You know, that can always change a little bit, right? Hey, Mr. Vids. Yeah, of course we would be playing the Leafs. In the second round? I guess that depends then, right? I don't think we could get past Tampa the way we're playing. I don't think we could get past Tampa the way we're playing. Maybe Toronto, maybe Boston, but I don't think we could get past Tampa the way we're playing. I think that a series against Tampa might be good for us in the sense that it might wake our asses up. That could happen. But we're going to have to be a bit more consistent. I don't think Tampa's playing around this year. Is there any way that I can watch highlights on these live streams? I can, but then the video get copyrighted. I can do it, but then the video get copyrighted. I mean, it's not a huge deal. What I had wanted to do, and this sucks that I can't do this, I had wanted to record videos where I'm watching the highlights and going over highlights from other games, and I wanted that to be a benefit of the membership, but YouTube says I can't do it because then technically I'm charging for copyrighted work that's not mine. The rules are so stupid. Yeah, Giles Fly. It's possible you could see him, but I don't think I don't know that he's quite ready to be in with the playoffs and everything. Frank says the Leafs are going to kick our ass in the SOAR at least. I'm scrolling down to the bottom, so. Vincent says, so the team did not make an effort to contact me while I was there. No. That's okay. That's all right. Superfan came and met me. That was good enough. I've had enough flashing neon signs of where I'm welcome and where I'm not. I think I'll just stick with those people that I'm welcome with. Same thing, Kachucking around. I have a Patreon. And I specifically asked them, and they said it was against their terms. Hey, thank you, Frank. Thank you, Frank. Yeah, we saw it. He says, did anyone see the Bennett sneaky punch last night? Again, How can we trade that? We got called for the penalty, right? Right? Yeah, I can do freeze frames. That I can do, William. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Dangle does that quite frankly. Yeah, yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot of. That's what I was hoping to be able to do with Nick was hoping I was going to be able to make enough money to pay him a decent amount to edit those videos for me. Um, but I just don't have the money. You know what I mean to do it. So that's kind of why that went to the wayside. I just don't have the money to pay anybody to do that right now. And you wouldn't believe the length of time. Like you think it's just a 3 or a 4 minute video, but some of those videos that were 3, 4, 5 minutes took Nick 12 hours, 8 hours. That's how long that stuff takes. If you've done video editing, you know. So I can't just ask him to do that as a favor. You know what I mean? It's not like it's, hey, do this for 20 minutes. You know what I mean? John says, what if we send a, Rosado says, what if we send a robot shark on the Fort Lauderdale beach and when Ekblad is seen running or swimming in the water, we just send a robot shark to attack him at a proven speed. Kachucking around. Yeah, I can send another one. I had posted to the community board for the members the invite to the Discord, but if I don't do that again this weekend, remind me. I'll post another one, right? Vince says, wow, they're stubborn. They gave rings to all the media team there. Wait a minute. So you mean like George and did they give one to the Locked On Panthers guy? Well, yeah, I mean Jessica and Jovo, but like not like the smaller media like me, right? Paul, Randy, only the front office staff. Okay. Okay. Jameson. Right, but he's technically a team employee. Katie Plagans. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I mean that I can roll with that. If they had been giving them out to like George and Colby and Locked On Panthers guy, and then not even that would kind of I would feel a certain sort of way about that. Not against them, but so it is what it is what it is. Yeah, Panthers Radio is part of the PR media department. Yeah. Oh jeez. Trey says if we put Ekblad on LTIR and traded Bennett for Crosby, we would still have money left over to get Connor Murphy. Oh. Here, I'll play along, Trey. I guess the question is, do you really think Pittsburgh would trade Sidney Crosby straight up for Sam Bennett? You see what I'm saying? Like, there's no way that's a 1-for-1 deal, right? Frank says, how about a good feel-good story? We trade for Kevin Hayes. We get to see him lift the cup for his brother, Jimmy. Now, Hayes isn't a bad player, right? Can he play defense? He's not a defenseman, right? He's a forward, right? Hey, guys. God damn it, Trey. Stop trying to trade Mackey. No. Yeah, no, I heard that, Rosado, right? Yeah, Jameson's wife is the VP of communications. No, he sucks at defense. I saw that, JC. I got you. I reached out to, I guess her name is Addie, last year when I reached out to her and then reach out to somebody else. Hey, they won't even respond. That's okay. That's all right. Goes around, comes around. LeBron James traded to Miami Heat. Not again. Yeah, exactly, Ice. Mackey's untouchable. I agree there, man. He's the only guy on the ice with any legs other than Boquist and Greer. And that really says it all, doesn't it? I mean, any of the complaints we have about the team, it's so starkly, blatantly obvious that the three guys that weren't in the long run last year, for the most part, where you got Greer, Samoskevich, and Boquist, they have so much more jump in their legs than the rest of the guys on the team. It couldn't be any more obvious. So I'd be interested to see how Samoskevich holds out over the course of the year. He seems to be holding out pretty good physically, so that's good news. Deadline cap space is 2.4. Current cap space is 991. How do we have? We must have one roster spot open. Trey says Crosby has legs too, in fact. Oh. I don't think they're going to trade him. They're in a playoff spot right now, right? I mean, they're in a playoff spot. Right? Let me I got to delete this here. Hold on a second. Because of the point that we gave them last night. 1, 2, 3, 4 Senators. Yeah, they're tied with the Senators for the 8th spot. Senators got 2 games in hand. But I don't think they're going to be trading Sidney Crosby. They're legitimately. So who would that would have them play in the Capitals, right? Yeah. 3 according to the ladies of Pittsburgh. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God, Trey. Trey got drunk early this morning. He's married to the game. Gotcha. Oh my God, that's funny. No, man. Frank says, we have cap for a good defender. I love Byron, but he's a true offensive defenseman. That way we add offense and defense at the same time. He can run a power play too. I'll bite on that, Frank. I got no problem with that. Right? Compare him to what Montour brought, Frank, in your opinion. Compare him, because I think that's what we're missing, that element on defense for sure. You know, Montour would pump. God damn it, Frank! Stop trying, you bastards. No, we're not trading Samoskevich. That's not. I've already personally spoken to Bill Zito and told him the consequences. I've blackmailed him and told him the consequences of trading Mackie Samoskevich. It won't happen. I see any of the retro merch in the team store selling from the 90s last night. Some pretty cool. No, I did not see that. So Montour is more physical, but Byram is more skilled. That's interesting. All right. I bite. Trey says relaxing meant Sammy Reinhart. Jeez. No, neither one. Absolutely not. Right? I know a lot of people want to trade for Hagee, though. Kachuk, no, we didn't get to the Iceplex because it was, it was a lot. Brother Gene driving us down. We drove down from Melbourne, so we went to the game on Friday, and we had dinner with Magda and everybody before the game, and it was a little bit rushed. We didn't have as much time before the game as we would have liked. In terms of, everybody just chilling at the dinner and all of that. And then we had to drive home. We didn't want to stay in a hotel because we just rather drive home. And then we did the same thing on the game Monday, although Monday we had a little bit more extra time. Or maybe it was Sammy Bennett. You son of a bitch. I says, what are the odds we trade Bennett if he's not signed by the deadline? 0. It has to be 0. I'll put it this way. There's 0% chance that we trade Sam Bennett and win the cup again. There's just no way. There's no way that you can move on from Sam Bennett and think we're going to repeat. It's not going to happen. My opinion on the Four Nations Cup coming up is I wish they were all getting a vacation instead of playing more hockey. You know, I know it's good for the game and it'll be exciting. We're going to cover the games and all of that. But I wish none of the Panthers were going. I wish the team that won the Stanley Cup the year before was exempt from sending any players. We're sending a lot of them. So, yeah, no, exactly. Ethan says, I wouldn't be too concerned about signing before the deadline. Like look at last year with all the re-signing. Right. Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't. They have to make their decision. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to get a contract until Zito knows exactly what he's doing with everybody. And, you know, there's things that they can be considering that, you know, is Boquist, you know, is Jesper Boquist really a piece they want to build around? What do they see, you know, Samaskevich's ceiling being? Because they may look at him as like, we can replace this player with Samaskevich. You know, he's getting a lot of opportunities. He looks really good, but he needs to put the puck. He's done well. He's got 7 goals, but he needs to make a little bit more of his opportunities before I think the team is just going to look at him and say he could replace a Verhaeghe or an Erod or something like that. But as the season goes on, and depending on what happens in the playoffs, you know, that's going to affect Zito's decisions, right? You're really starting to like Jesper Boquist. Yeah, I agree there. The thing with Boquist, and to some extent Sam Miskevich, is you can only have so many. You got very, very similar players for the most part. Erod, E2, Boquist, to a lesser extent, Samaskevich. Samaskevich is trying to play a game his body's not quite ready to play, but he'll get there. He'll get there. Samaskevich is way ahead of where Owen Tippett was showing at this point. You know, we forget he hasn't, you know, this is it. This is his first games. And he's playing pretty well against good competition. You know, those teams are coming after him. So, but Boquist, yeah, I mean, definitely he's somebody that, you know, I guess we just picked him up for nothing, right? But you can only have so many of those guys. So I think that you could look at Boquist as maybe a possible Erod replacement if you needed to move some salary. I don't think the difference, let's put it this way. I don't want to trade anybody, but if we had to move Rodriguez to get a defenseman in and you put Boquist in his spot, I really don't think the difference between Erod and Boquist would win or lose us a Stanley Cup. Vince says it was weird to me. He didn't keep Holla at the time. I think they got him in a trade. Yeah, Boquist kind of looks a little bit like Holla. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Do I think E2 has much trade value? Not really. I mean, not nothing. It depends on what a team wants to build around. E2 has all the tools. He just doesn't quite have the scoring ability that you would like to see him have. You know, if E2 could, if he could be a 20 goal guy, he'd be looking at a nice paycheck. But I think he's more like a 10, 12 goal guy, right? It's how funny would it be if if Bennett went to Boston, they all changed their opinion of him. Oh, it would be instant, right? They would instantly do it. You know? Sammy gets his chances when he's not in the fourth line, but Maurice doesn't like when we score, apparently. He did get that one shift yesterday with Barkov and Reinhardt. And, I mean, I wish they would do that more because he's a massive disruptor, right? He can cause chaos with his speed. And if you put him on the ice with a Barkov and a Reinhardt, creating those kind of opportunities, good things could happen if he'd let him do it for more than 5 minutes. Do I think the Panthers will win the division over Leafs? I don't know. I guess it's going to depend on how bad the Leafs want it. Who do the Leafs want to play in the first round? Right? Leafs want to play Tampa, Boston, Panthers. I could play into it as well. Roddy is good because of who he plays with, but that's not saying he has no skill. You have to be able to slot into that line still. Yeah. Vince says Mackey looks fantastic. First round pick value is there. Opportunity with Pomo's nonsense is another story. Right. Yeah. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for today. Throat is gone. Wish me luck. Wish me luck with my $100 at the casino. All right. Hopefully, at worst, I don't lose my money. Hopefully, the internet bill is $140. So if I turn the 100 into 140, I'll pay the internet bill. Oh, that's so pathetic. Damn it. All right, everybody. Thank you for the super chats. Appreciate all the support. And I'll have some content out tomorrow involving the anniversary, that team, whatever that thing is on Twitter, the 25-year team or whatever they put out. We'll see you.